Real estate is the only job where you can work 60 hours and still feel like you've achieved absolutely nothing. Today, I'm going to chat with Nathan Najib about how to not always be busy and do dollar productive activity. Let's get into it. Welcome, Nathan.
Hello, Bowie. Good to see you.
Right, before we get into it, I've got some quite amazing stats. So RateMyAgent, this is a New Zealand platform, and I was looking at all the agents. So there's 1,350 agents, right, in the Canterbury area. And this is based on their sales. Nearly 1 in 2 agents have completed 5 sales or fewer. Almost 1 in 5 agents haven't recorded a single sale. Only 1 in 21 agents, so about 5%, has achieved 50 or more sales. And 1 in 72, so about 1.4%, have achieved over the 100 sale mark. So you've got around 60% who are achieving fewer than 5 sales, which is crazy. So today I want to start, why are agents busy, but they're still broke? So from your perspective, what's the biggest time wasters that agents focus on that they shouldn't be?
It's interesting, Bowie, that those stats that you say now, you go through every office, and a lot of offices, they just allow that kind of behavior. They don't not training and helping them understand. They might have come from might have been a police officer or might have been a plumber, which they get paid hourly. Where when you come to real estate, it's a sales thing. Every commission, unless you're making phone calls, unless you're getting deals across, you're not making any money. So to be productive, I heard once a long time ago, you should have some sort of routine that's consistent every single day. And as you know, my day and every top performer agent that I know or a business owner that I know, they've got a very routine, systemized day. So for the reason most agents are average or most salespeople are average, they just don't do those important tasks. They feel like they're still in the job that they used to have. Plumber or a police officer or whatever, and they treat it like that. Well, the truth is, as I tell our sales team here, you got to pick up the phone and make phone calls. So first thing is what? You pick up the phone, do prospecting phone calls. Cold call, warm calls, door knocking. And one of the best things that I learned early in my career, there's AM and there's PM. AM energy and PM energy. Yeah, AM energy is like you kind of like jumping off the wall, making phone calls, booking meetings, and then PM energy is a little bit quiet, a little bit reserved when you're sitting down with face-to-face with clients. And if you do that prospecting for 1 to 3 hours every day, they'll get you busy and they'll get you out of being just an average agent and do well.
Okay. So you're saying dedicate at least maybe 40% of your day to prospecting. And when you say prospecting, it's picking up the phone, calling people, gaining the confidence. What are agents doing that they feel is productive, or maybe from your past experiences, but it actually isn't going to produce any revenue for you?
So it starts from you said 40% of your time. You start 100% of your time when you get into business, prospecting, and then you take it back. Just like a accelerator and a brake, right? So if you got nothing on, the accelerator is on, which is prospecting, right? And then as you get busier, you put people around you, you take the accelerator, your foot off the accelerator, and then hopefully by that time you would have started generating leads. One of the things that to answer your question is how you can start performing. That was the question, right?
Correct. but it's also what are agents doing that they feel is productive, but it's not. Is it
Yeah.
administration? Obviously prospecting is going to help.
One of the things, the most important thing, like, when I was young, I keep on going back to when I started getting productive and started making actual proper money, was most offices like cafeterias. I can't stand offices, like, it drives me nuts, and you know that, right?
Yeah.
But most offices are like that. So what do you do? How do you do to get away from it? I used to put a big sign outside my office: prospecting in progress, do not disturb. And then people come, because people used to always come to my office and want to talk to me, and they want to have coffees with me. I'm like, no. I'm not here to have coffees, buddy. I'm here to do my work and get the hell out of here. Most places when you go to, that's exactly what it's like.
Okay, no, that's a perfect answer. So you're a professional. Because what I see some of the younger agents, and they're walking around. They look like you,
Sure.
right? They try and talk like you.
Mm-hmm.
They're having coffee meetings. They're drinking at the pub, but then they're not actually making money. So
Yeah.
it's about getting serious, becoming a professional.
Like, you wouldn't see, like, I say, is like, you got to come from day one, come in as a professional, look at yourself. It's like if you got a medical degree, right? Now you're like let's say you're a heart surgeon, right? Now, you don't just walk around, just do nothing. Like, you turn up there, get the heart surgery, or come and catch up with a surgeon that's training you to become a surgeon, and you're learning from that surgeon, and you're out of there. You're not hanging around a cafeteria. So you should treat this business. We as salespeople, we should treat this business as a serious business. And if you do treat it as serious business, you can make serious money.
Mm-hmm.
That's different between an average salesperson and a true professional.
Yeah, difference between, like I said at the start, the top 5% are making 50 sales and above.
Absolutely,
That's it. 60% are doing the cafeterias.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then probably, like, the young agents or the agents that's not performing well, they probably want to say, like, what do I prospect? Who do I prospect? Well, here's the thing. Like, we've got one of the things that worked for me, and the best agents on the planet I've seen, is they've got an area that they work in. They don't go everywhere and anywhere and trying to get listings. They've got this area that people know them as a professional. That's what I'll recommend. I didn't know that first when I started in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to know that when I was like probably 4 or 5 years within the industry. And nobody here in Christchurch specializes in the area, and that's what we bring into the real estate industry. And I think, and you've seen our guys how well they do, right?
That's actually probably the biggest time saver. So number one, it would be finding an area you want to work in and service, because then all your marketing, all your prospecting is dedicated to that one area.
That's it.
Even where you eat out, the cafes you go to, there's then a strategy behind that. People are getting to know who you are. And then number two is prospect, make the calls, and that's all you should be doing up until you start getting listings and appraisals.
And if you haven't got a prospecting list, because a lot of agencies don't share their database like we do here in Najib, that's okay, because you can go to their old open home list. I'm sure the agents, and a lot of agents that have been around for a little while, they're not going to follow it up anyway. So go and ask them for their list, and even have a share with them. Just say, if I get a listing from out of your open home register, come and list it with me, and then we can give you 50% of the business. Mm-hmm. Right? There's that many ways that you should not be doing just average. The only thing is, like, people just don't do what's obvious.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap it up there. We do have the ideal agent week. So we've actually mapped out each day, what you should be doing, when you should be following up with your vendors, your buyers, prospecting. This is part of the agent scaling roadmap that we spent hundreds of hours putting into. It's free. It's a 6-hour course. It's 5 levels from starter agent all the way up to $1 million agent. So you can get the link to the Ideal Agent Week, and also you can get access to the free course.
I wish I had that, Bowie. Like, the reason we do that is because, like, it's the best way. One of the things is like, you get everything and then you give it away. What's that? There was a quote about the idea of, like, becoming successful was like learning everything and doing things, and then the fulfillment is when you give the things that you've earned, that you've got, now sharing with other people, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we are really doing. So I wish when I got into real estate, somebody had this blueprint, as we call it,
Yeah.
and could hand it over to us. But here we are. We're handing over a blueprint to success.
We are. And if you want to access that, you can look at the comments. There'll be a link there to start the course. But we'll see you in the next podcast. We're releasing one podcast per week. And the next podcast will be about being a buyer's agent.